I had the opportunity finally to meet Val. Val is a good friend of mine. I have talked to Val since November. I finally had the opportunity to meet up with her in Billings, Montana in January. She reached out to me through TikTok, a lot because I deal with addiction, because I am a recovering addict. She works for a rehab actually in Montana, which I was blown away with. She's 20 years old. She really has her shit together, wants to make a difference when it comes to addiction. I had the opportunity to do some live streams with her on TikTok, and it was fun just to meet up with her. She helped me out a lot even when I was in town for work. We spent some time. I got to meet her family, and when I'm up there next time, I'm actually going to be doing an interview with her dad and with her stepmom because their addiction story is extremely strong. I had the opportunity to actually talk to them some about it and spend time with them, and I can't thank her enough for the experiences and stuff that she was able to share with me when it comes to the rehab, when it comes to finding these different cities out here even, and how impactful addiction really is, because we lose track of how it impacts every different city out there. So Val shares with me, what it was like having a dad as an addict, and what she kind of did to support her dad and to help her dad. Because let's face it, me as an addict, we are very selfish. We're all in our brain. We're all in our addiction. And we don't realize how we affect the ones around us and even how to help the ones around us. So here is Val's story. And you know what, Val, thanks so much for doing this with me.
It's affected my life in multiple fucking ways, both positive and negative. I am not an addict. I do. I have closest family members are my dad and my stepmom, the ones I've dealt with the most. I'd say the worst experience was a couple years ago. My boyfriend at the time and my mom were in Vegas for 4 days as a late birthday present for myself. Third day in, well, okay, so dad, my dad, he at this time we were under the impression that he was divorcing from my stepmom, and he was staying with us in our house in Butte. All we asked him to do was just take care of the house and just take care of the cats. Pretty simple, right? Like, just him, my sister, like, house to themselves, just take care of it, just take care of the cats, whatever. Well, that apparently wasn't the case. He was still seeing my stepmom. They were using together. It was like the third day in on my trip, putting on my makeup, trying to get ready to like go out to dinner with who I'm with. And I get a screenshot. I got a message from one of my bosses at work sending me a screenshot of a Facebook post from someone, and it's a picture of my dad and stepmom like in camera footage asking, "Do you know who these people are? They are using counterfeit tickets at the casino or something." And I see them, like, it's clear as day that it's my dad and my stepmom. And I look at it and I'm just like stunned, just like looking at it, just trying to like your mind's just like racing. You're just like, where's my first thing is just like, where's my sister? Is she being taken care of? Like, where is she in this scenario? So I started messaging my boss back. I'm just like, what the fuck is this? And so I searched the person who posted it to see, like, people are commenting, and my dad's pretty well known, so people were fucking commenting, like my dad's name and shit. And like, so I sent the screenshot to my dad. I'm just like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, what is this? I knew how it was gonna like affect my mom. Like, she would get super stressed. I finally worked up the courage to like go show her. Needless to say, she was not happy. She was not fucking happy because like, it's a thing, like, in this family, like, my mom and I will like take a trip somewhere, and like dad will like ruin it. He'll like call like all fucked up, drunk. I get upset, especially when I was younger. Like, I'd start crying, and wouldn't even want to like go on with our trip anymore. I just wanted to go back to our room and cry, pretty much. So like, that's what I mean by like, dad would like ruin our trips. With this, we're just like, okay, well, we can't do anything from here. So we just asked him. So she called my dad and said, take Holly, my sister, take Holly to my parents' house. They were like, dad was just freaking out, like crying and whatnot and stuff. And then, so considering it's like the third day in, we're fucking just trying to enjoy our time together and act like we're not like anxiety ridden. And so finally we get on the plane home and we go back. I pick up my sister from his friend who's also a pastor. I picked her up and like I grabbed all of her stuff, put it in the car. And when I come back, the house is fucking trashed. My mom is a businesswoman. She works from home. And they were in her office using like her printer. They used my car while I was gone, like that, because like my car is like really like important to me. I saw that they trashed it. There's like coffee in the cup holders. Like there's like no gas in my car. Come back, like there's just like weird stupid shit. Like my sister's like little mini chair was like up on the pool table or something. I'm just like, what the fuck were you guys doing? You know what I mean? Like someone like got into my makeup, someone was using my shower stuff, and I know like it wasn't just those two. Like they had like people over. Like there's just no doubt. It was just fucking like heartbreaking. Like as soon as I got home, I just like when I like saw my car, like I like went inside, I just fucking bawled. I was so like it was like stress tears, right? So my mom and I, we go and file for temporary custody for my sister. Child Protective Services gets involved. And that was fucking like worst experience for us personally anyway. Dad and stepmom did, so they went down to treatment in Florida. You know, they just got on a plane and they just went to treatment. I was pretty angry for a while, I'd say for like the good like 3 months, you know, every time like when like Dad and Sean like got treatment, like my dad like tried to get a hold of me, I'd just be like you do this all the time, like, and like it's like, wow, something like serious went down and you just run away to treatment, like trying to like make it like all better. Like as soon as like you get caught with something, like you just run away to treatment. Like that's just like your way of like getting out of things. But like, you know, like they've never been like in like Dad's never been in legal trouble, and apparently he wasn't even the one who's like counterfeiting tickets. It was the person that was with them, like their friend, which in fact used my computer for school to print off the tickets, because I saw files of each and every ticket that he printed off. So that pissed me off too. So I'd probably just like this entire experience was just god awful, and it was all because of fucking addiction. And my dad and I were best friends. Like yeah, like we would butt heads sometimes, but like this was probably the most intense thing we've ever gone through. Like we were just like we could not talk to each other without like screaming at each other, and like through messages, like I was very spiteful, and I was just like, I'm never gonna let you see your child again. Like you're never gonna see either of us ever again. Like I'll just pack our shit up and we'll just go right now. Like you won't hear from us ever again. I was that asshole pretty much. My dad, I'll never forget that. Like he said this. He's just like, you know what, Val, you'll be the worst addictions counselor because you make people want to fucking kill themselves. And honestly, when I read that, it stabbed me. Like it really cut deep. Like I immediately started crying after that because I thought it was true. I'm just like, man, he's right. You know, like he's like an addiction, and I'm just, you know, he's already like down and hurt, and like I'm just making it so much fucking worse. Like I'm literally like driving him to like where he doesn't like want to be alive anymore. But I was incredibly angry. You know what I mean? Like, but it didn't last very long. So I'd say that was probably like the worst experience I had. I love to support him by going to meetings with him. Like, I don't think he really liked going to meetings alone. So I'll go with you. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, you don't have to go alone. I also like to support him, like, in his sobriety, like, encouraging him to get involved with helping other people, like helping other like fellow addicts, ones who are still in an active addiction, like who want to go to treatment, you know, working at the treatment center that I work at too, you know, like just because like I know like he loves to help people. Like the more involved he's in, like it's like therapeutic to him. Like helping others helps him pretty much. I don't know, just like little simple stuff, like asking him to like go on walks, go swimming with me, like go out to dinner with me, just come over and visit and stuff. Like just like little things like that. Like I feel that helps with the sobriety. I suggest you find an Al-Anon meeting. I've only been to one, but it was probably the coolest meeting like I've ever been to. Like it was awesome because I've only ever been to like AA and NA, you know, like for addicts, you know, like, so I know like that like the back of my hand. But the first time I went to an Al-Anon meeting, like I thought that was so fucking cool. Like I felt like I really like belonged there, you know what I mean? If you're younger, I would say go to your teachers, your counselor, like your guidance counselors. Like if you have a sober parent, you know, talk to them. If you have like extended family members you can get a hold of, I'd say talk to them too. I would say try not to be so hard on them, because I'm telling you right now, they already feel hurt. They already feel guilt for what they're doing. They're already very down. I honestly just don't need to be kicked anymore. Like they're already like kicking themselves in the ass for being an addict or alcoholic parent. You know what I mean? So I'd say, you know, just try and be there for them, be supportive, be motivating, try to like motivate them to like go get help, or, you know, try and at least like drink less or use less, you know, just like really like talk to them, communicate them, express to them. If that's hard to do, like if you're like me, like in like talking, like you don't do well with talking, I'd say write it down. Like for me, it was always best to like text whatever I'm feeling, but like since everyone texts, like I feel like letters are a little bit like more meaningful, or maybe notes. That's probably my best suggestions.
It was great to meet up with her. I can't wait to be back up to Billings for work, get to share her parents' story, because it's strong. The more with addiction that we share, the more that nobody goes it alone, because when we get to that point of being sick and tired of being sick and tired, we don't know what to do. You know, we hit that rock bottom and we're like, shit, dude, we have just totally destroyed our life. What do we do now? So having the opportunity to actually get to sit with her and find out what it was like to have a dad as a addict, and what it really did to the family, was extremely strong. And it's a constant reminder of, you know, it is one day at a time, and that we do matter, and that we can make a difference, and that we can get sober. And that's everything. Down below, I have the link to Al-Anon. If you do have a family member that is an addict and you're struggling with it, you want support, that's the best support out there that I can even come up with, is Al-Anon. Check it out. The descriptions also, I have links to things like BetterHelp if you want trial and error when it comes to therapy. I have links to coping devices that I use with Amazon for fidget spinners, anything it comes to when it's anxiety driven or depression driven, that I use to just help me through everyday life. I started a nonprofit. It's called Driven Together. It bridges a gap between therapy and a crisis hotline, that in between of sharing all the tools, experiences, and resources that we can to get that human connection, to know that it's okay, and it's okay to be not okay, and to keep fighting forward. There's even a link down there to the mental health discords that we have. It's peer-to-peer support. Just people helping people is what it comes down to. And don't forget this, you're a BAMF. You're a badass motherfucker. You made it through 100% of your worst days to make it through 2 today. Hit that like button. Comment down below of what you've done if you've had an addict in your family, and how you were able to help and support them, not enable them, to fight forward. Because you know what? Addiction does kill, and addiction destroys family. And the more that we share about it, the more that we give the tools that we can of what worked for us, the more that nobody goes it alone. Hit that like and subscribe button. Comment below. Let's do this together.